purpose of conducting this hackathon in the first place, right? Like, um, why we are doing it in the first place, right? What is the theme, how the bigger picture looks like, and what is the outcome that we desire. And finally, we'll be sharing the timeline and the agenda for the event, like how the next 2 months is gonna look like to you guys. So without further ado, I would like to invite co-founders of Plenty Hackathon one by one. First, Mr. Om Malvi and then Mr. Bern Oostrom to discuss about Plenty DeFi, Tezos, and why this hackathon is conducted and what's the higher picture looks like. So please welcome Mr. Om Malviya, who's also the president of Tezos India, to discuss about this application, Plenty DeFi, and Tezos in brief. Welcome, Om.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the introduction, Purvi. Hi, everyone. I'm Om, president and co-founder of Theos India and co-founder of Plenty Project. So, I'll be sharing briefly some information with you that might be helpful for those who are already aware with the blockchain and for those who are participating in the blockchain hackathon for the first time. So, hi everyone, welcome to the Plenty Hackathon kickoff event. And this event is brought to you by plentydefi.com and Tezos India, right? So first of all, what is Tezos, right? So most of you might have heard about blockchain, and there are multiple kinds of blockchain: private blockchain, public blockchain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperledger, and etc. etc. Right? So there are multiple kinds of blockchain. Now, think of a blockchain of a software, right, or developer SDK, or a programming language for that matter, and uh, there are various advantages of using a specific language or developer SDK or operating system over others, right? That's how it is in the software industry. So Tezos is in the same way a smart contract platform. It's a blockchain where you can write smart contracts, and its native cryptocurrency is Tez, right? Now, it is different and unique from others such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, that it is self-amendable, right? And it is self-amendable, and it makes it easier to write secure smart contract on which you are going to put billions of dollar if you are building a DeFi project, right? So now, what does self-amendable means is that if I take example, it takes usually 3 to 4 years or even 5 years for Bitcoin to upgrade to a specific feature. Even for Ethereum, it takes multiple years to upgrade to a specific feature, which is really needed for the community and for the developers, right? Now, for Tezos, uh, you can upgrade the blockchain very easily without any hard fork, right? Just to share what is hard fork is. Hard fork is upgrading a blockchain by splitting in two parts, and then whatever the majority agrees upon, that becomes the major chain, and the smaller people, smaller majority wherever they are, it's a different chain. So in Tezos, amendment happens on an average after every 3 months. So think of it as more like every year you get a new Mac OS, you get a new iOS upgrade, you get new Android upgrade. But in Tezos, it's even smaller. In every 3 to 4 months, you get new cool features that makes your life easier as a developer, that makes your applications more secure, and that makes your application more scalable, right? And it keeps adding innovation over and over again, so that it at one point of time it becomes the most uh, the most innovative blockchain among all the other blockchains out there, right? So that's what Tezos is. As you start developing your program, your application, you will know more about it. And it's a really big community. Theos is a really big community all over the globe, distributed across the globe, and also a good large developer community in India itself. Now, as I mentioned, I already covered the part why you should build on Tezos, because Tezos is built in a way that it is always going to stay, right? Even if you look after 10 years, 15 years, 20, 50, or 100 years, because it can always amend itself, right? It can always accept the latest technological innovation that is out there in the seamless and fastest manner, right? And that's what you need to That's what makes it sustainable. If you can adapt, if you are adaptable, if you can adapt to the changes very fast, that will always keep you relevant to the market and to relevant to the users and relevant to the developers, right? So it's a really unique blockchain. We all of us, entire all the team, we really love Tezos. It's, if you're a software developer, it's like a great piece of software. Which sometimes makes you wonder these things are also possible in the software domain, right? A little bit about Tezos India. So Tezos is a decentralized uh, blockchain network, right? So basically, there is not CEO, there is not a central company or not a central entity which controls Tezos or which promotes Tezos. Instead, Tezos, you can think of it as similar to Linux, right? It's an open source framework, and there is a non-profit entity like Linux Foundation or Linux India or some different kind of entities all across the globe, and they try to promote the technology, right? And we all know how great of a technology Linux is. So you can think of Tezos as a Linux of blockchain, right? And Tezos India, in the same way, is an entity based in India to promote the Tezos ecosystem growth in Indian region, right? Now, that was all about Tezos India. We do multiple events like Tezos India Fellowship, Hack 7 Days, Tez India Hackathon, Plenty DeFi Hackathon. Now we are doing that. And basically all around the year, you will see us organizing multiple hackathons and multiple activities and a lot of things that you can take part on. You can get incentives. You can, win good amount of prizes. You can get hired, and you can also start your own startup in this space, and that will all be supported by Tejos India and its partners like Plenty DeFi, right? So, but I'll be there during the entire phase of the hackathon on Discord. Feel free to ask me any questions you have. All the support that you want, will be happy to give you. But not, I won't take too much of your time, and I'll pass it on to Bern Ostrom, who's co-founder of Plenty DeFi. Bern, what do you?
Yo, yo. Let me share my screen. So a little bit about ourselves, about Om and me. We met each other in Silicon Valley back in 2018 at an entrepreneurship training. And there we... What? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So since then, we've been building on top of Tezos. And there were definitely challenges with building on Tezos because it's so unique and because of its differences between EVM compatible blockchains. But since that time, tooling has been improved and building has become a lot easier. But DeFi didn't really take off on Tezos because there was a lack of liquidity. So we sat down and we thought of what can we do to bring liquidity to Tezos and really kickstart the whole DeFi ecosystem on Tezos, because it all starts with liquidity. So back in May, Plenty DeFi launched, first only as a yield farm for a Plenty XTZ training pair on a different exchange on top of Tezos. And then eventually it evolved in its own decentralized exchange. Plenty actually launched the first token-to-token exchange on top of Tezos. So what we want to do with Plenty is build a complete decentralized ecosystem managed or governed by the governance token of the Plenty ecosystem, xPlenty. So we started the project, the Plenty project, but that doesn't mean that we will have control over the project in the future. We want the community to say what needs to be built and actually build it, and earn by doing that from the protocol itself. So the groundwork has been laid for Tezos, for DeFi on Tezos. So there are multiple exchanges right now, with Plenty being one of the leading ones. But still, there are lacking a few projects that can really give another wave of innovation for DeFi on Tezos. And to get that done, we just need more people. We need more coders, more enthusiasts who want to build and take advantage of this unique situation here, because we've seen last year DeFi booming on Ethereum. A lot of new projects came out of that. A lot of innovation came out of that. People got amazing opportunities. And we're just before that moment on Tezos right now. So it's a huge opportunity for young developers to explore this specific ecosystem and explore building with the stuff that we've built so far for Tezos. The nice angle about Tezos is that it's really green. It uses proof of stake, and gas fees are only pennies. So that gives us the opportunity to experiment a lot. So for this hackathon, we have a huge list of problem statements. We'll have separate sessions where we will go deeper into them. But a small list of them is we would love to see some form of launchpad using the Plenty protocol, widgets that would enable Plenty contracts to be integrated in front ends easily, so that projects can use, without coding themselves, they can use the protocol in their DeFi projects or NFT projects even. If you have a cool NFT idea, those are also welcome. Improvements to the UI UX, a flat curve implementation, preferably one with 3 tokens, because we're almost finished with our own 2 token implementation. And of course, an open DeFi track. So if you have interest in building something around lending and borrowing, that would fit in there. And all of these tracks have up to $3,000 in prize money. But besides that, it also, if you have a cool idea, if you are a cool team or a cool developer, we would love for you to eventually join the team in our efforts to pushing this DeFi ecosystem on Tezos. And for a bit more details about the hackathon, I would like to hand over the word to Ajit. But before that, I used a lot of fancy terms. If you have any questions about that, post them on Discord. We would love to explain all the fancy terms there, or in one of the other deep dive workshops where we will explain all the fancy terms in more detail.
Cool. Thanks, Bernd. So yeah, so I'm also part of Plenty DeFi team and would like to share more details on hackathon and details like schedule, workshops, and many other things. So yeah, let me just quickly share my screen. Okay. Okay, let's look at schedule first. So like what we are going to do next is after this kickoff event, we are going to do a lot of workshops and some team building activities. So this workshops would contain all the information that you need to learn about Tezos, about blockchain, about the DApp application development on Tezos, what is DeFi, and there'll also be sessions on each workshop session would be a session with more deep dive into each of the problem statements. So, and also some guest lectures in the Tezos ecosystem uh, for you to get a good exposure on DeFi protocols, on different DeFi protocols as well. So all this would happen on workshops where you'll get equipped with all the knowledge for you to generate ideas and also to implement. So I would say that this is a must see and must go thing for everybody. And so after these workshops and team building activities, we will have like idea submission. So when I say idea submission, so I want to talk about the phases of the hackathon. So this hackathon, we are structuring it in 2 phases. So one phase is we are calling it as idea phase, wherein you can ideate along with your team members and connect with different people, understand their ideas as well, and then collaborate. Finally, like craft your idea, think through your idea, and like sort of put forth your idea and submit for. And this idea is basically for the open DeFi track that we are having. For the other tracks, the problem statements are pretty much defined. So for this open DeFi track, we would be inviting ideas as well. And the cool part is for the best ideas, we also have some good rewards as well. And I think around $250 for an idea, like it's there. So so there are rewards for ideas as well. And then there is we'll open up the ideas based on your consent and do a bit of team reshuffling so that you get the right team and you can go about the implementation in the best manner, right? So that's the team reshuffling. And after that we go into implementation phase where you guys will work on the problem statements that you have chosen and then finally submit, right? And at the end we also have this internal demo day wherein all the projects would be like the projects that are submitted will be displayed to the jury, and jury would sort of understand all the projects. And also yeah, so one main thing is this will happen in a virtual office space. So you could you could drop into that virtual space and try to understand what other participants have built and see the demos of other participants, which is going to be really interesting. And yeah, so after this internal demos presentation, we will do a jury will shortlist 10 projects, and these will be displayed on demo day. And the final call, the final results will be declared after the 10 shortlisted projects presentation is done. Of course, last but not the least, we also have cool swags, right? Like we need it. All right, so that's a brief about the schedule and how the hackathon is going to play out. And if you have any questions on this, right, feel free to drop off. Feel free to drop in the YouTube chat right away. And also, you can also do it on the Discord. So happy to answer all the questions. The phases, which I've already talked about. And let's go to workshops. Okay, a bit more details on the workshops is we've already discussed a bunch of already discussed the details on the workshops. We'll have the introduction to Tezos and blockchain, then more understanding of smart contracts, like how to write it in SmartPy and understand different token standards. And we also have a beacon workshop. And the main thing is we're also, for all these problem statements, we have opened up all our resources as well, which you can use to build on top of plenty contracts, plenty swap contracts, and whatever contracts are there, smart contracts are opened up so that you could build some cool apps on top of it, right? So we would be doing a walkthrough of all those contracts and get into more details in that session. More about and yeah, not just the walkthrough of the Plenty smart contracts. We'll also be doing a smart contract walk, like a full-blown DApp development, connecting like front end, back end, and everything in a detailed walkthrough session, which is more into entire DApp development. And yeah, like I said, there are separate sessions for problem statements as well. And we also have lectures from Use, Colibri, and Wrap. So yeah, so a lot of exciting things are coming up in the workshops. Okay. Yeah. So one more important thing is we'll also be having mentor sessions. So so there are a lot of mentors around, and we have posted the details of the mentors on Discord channel as well. You can reach out to these mentors anytime and like get their guidance and help on how to proceed about the hackathon or your problem statements or anything with respect. Like they are all there to help you guys out. And not just that, so specific mentor sessions would also be organized, so wherein all the mentors would be coming up in we'll do a call specifically to address any major important Q&As from all the participants. And if there is any more help required, we can schedule more sessions on the fly as well. Yeah, so that's that. Like more announcements. Yeah, so this is something new that we have been thinking on now that COVID is getting down. So we have been thinking of like ideating on whether we could do a physical event for this hackathon where you could come meet the fellow participants and then form teams, especially, right? So this is something that we'll take feedback from you and then see if we are having good attendance, maybe we could look at having a physical meetup at a couple of places, right? So again, it's all has to be decided. Last but not the least, so this is pretty much all the information, and I would encourage everybody, all the participants, to be very active on Discord, because we are going to do a lot of engagement activities and a lot of communication and a lot of collaboration, cross collaboration on Discord starting from tomorrow. So whosoever is watching this, I would suggest to immediately go ahead and get yourself added to Plenty Discord, Plenty Discord server, and start getting all the updates from there. Right. So that's pretty much the schedule and how the hackathon is going to play out. And I think I've covered almost everything. So yeah, that's open for Q&A now. Right. Thank you.
Cool stuff.
Awesome.
Very hyped about it. Purvin, do we have any questions?
I'm seeing some questions on YouTube.
Nice.
Okay, so let's start from first. I think this one has already been answered. Will the updates be always backward compatible? Yes, I mean, so far they are always a backwards compatible upgrade. And then is this hackathon suitable for people who are totally new to blockchain and Tezos?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we want to do. We want to onboard new developers to blockchain itself and to the Tezos ecosystem. So that's why we want to do all these different workshops that some people might not need, like what is blockchain or how to write a smart contract, but we really want to give everyone it doesn't matter what your level of coding is, you can join this hackathon.
Okay. And
just one more thing, just one more thing to add to it is because why everyone can join is because this hackathon is for designers, product managers, entrepreneurs, everybody. Why? Because we have this ideation phase wherein you could have a very cool idea about DeFi and how we can improve plenty protocol, and you could write a draft and share it, and you could win a prize as well, right? So
Yeah,
that's for everybody.
but of course also, yeah, designers, product designers, UI UX is super important and often overlooked, especially in Tezos. So there's a lot to be gained on that field as well. So it doesn't need to be code per se to be a successful hackathon project.
all right. And then next is will this session be available offline too? So I think yes, it will be uploaded on the Tezos India YouTube channel where you can always access it. The next question is by Parth Kulkarni. How many tracks can a team choose? So Ajit, Bern, let's say if one team wants to build on 2 tracks, is that possible?
Why not?
Okay.
Exactly.
If someone builds something that has fingers in all the different tracks, that I'm more than happy if that's a super epic project to give all the prize money to that project.
Okay. So that's the question, answer to your question, Parth. You can choose as many tracks as you want. Then the next question is, would there be ideation prize for the team choosing tracks other than Open DeFi? If the team chooses any other track than the Open DeFi?
Okay. So basically, the idea is it should be around the theme.
Mhm.
So the theme is how can we make plenty ecosystem more bigger.
Yeah.
Right. So it should. So whatever ideas that you are coming up with should be linked up to this.
Okay. Makes sense. Discord link invite expired. Okay, I'll share a new link as well in the channel. So please go through it and request everyone to join the Discord channel. If you have any more questions, you can always ask there. I don't see more questions. So we'll wait for 2-3 minutes more. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, the Discord link is also on plentydefi.com.
Yeah.
All right.
No more questions.
Cool.
You want to take over?
Yeah, I think Ajit. I mean, to everybody out there, we'll also be sharing the website link for the hackathon in the description. And if you want to know more about the agenda, then you can just go through the website, right? Everything like from workshops to speakers, judges, everything. The timeline is there itself, right? And feel free to reach out to Ajit or myself on Discord itself. Yeah. And yeah, that's it. You can just view this whenever you are available and just get in touch. I think that's about it. We can probably finish this discussion. If there's anything else that you need to add, Bon, any last pointer, anything?
Yeah, try to work together, just debate all the ideas in the open. That is what really helps to push each other. Even if it's something that's not your project, you can still give input and feedback. And that's one of the reasons why Ethereum became so big, so fast. Everything was out in the open. Everybody was sharing knowledge, and that can give us an opportunity to really leapfrog ecosystems like Ethereum and other EVM blockchains out there. So looking forward to it. And yeah, DM me if you want to get on a one-on-one. Always happy to do that. I'm looking forward to the next months.
Awesome. So we'll begin the workshop starting tomorrow. You'll get the links. So we'll be streaming it like this. Yeah, so just await till the last minute till we share the final link over social media. Just follow our Twitter channels, Plenty DeFi and Tezos India for the links. That's all, I think, for now. All the best.
Cool.
Happy coding.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.
All the best, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.